Do you want to increase your conversion rates by over 30% on your store? Stick around to the end of the video so you don't miss out, especially on number 5, the strategy number 5 that we go over, because that's my personal favorite. Did you know that upselling is such an important way that you can actually increase your average order value and the amount of money that you're actually generating through your store every single month? And you can do this by implementing upsells to your store. So if you're not doing it, you're missing out right now. And if you are doing it but you're not seeing results, then this video is also going to help you. So stick around, because I know you're going to like it and it will help you, and you should gain value from this video. You're leaving money on the table right now if you're not upselling. There are so many different strategies that you can implement in to actually make more money through your Shopify store, not just by having a simple product on your website. You should add in stuff like these upsells on all your pages, whether that's pre-purchased, during the checkout phase. You can actually implement in upsells after someone's already purchased, which is what we're going to get into at the end of this video as well. So today we're going to go over all of those pages, what you can do within them, and also some secrets that you should pay attention to for your own website. And also we're going to go over some use cases on other websites that you can implement in yourself. So, have you actually implemented upsells into your store but you're not seeing results? Let's go over the problem right now of why it doesn't work. So you should listen into this, especially if it's not working, but also if it is working, you can learn more about how you can actually improve the conversion rate through adding these upsells in. The way the upsell was presented is super important. So this is what I want you to keep in mind. I want you to evaluate on your store right now, is my upsell presented in the best possible way, and is it relevant to the products that I'm actually selling? Because if it's not, that could be a great reason why no one's purchasing it. For example, if you're selling a camera and it's not an accessory or something that's actually an add-on to the camera, for example, like a case or a charger or any sort of accessory like that, or potentially something similar or related to the camera, then someone's probably not going to be that interested in purchasing it. So you want to pick things that are related to the item so you can actually have the best possible chance of someone purchasing something related to the main product they're already purchasing. You want to basically add value to the customer experience and present it in a way which is actually going to show that they actually need this other product, because if it doesn't show that, they're not going to purchase it. But if the upsell is plastered all over your website and it just feels pushy for them to purchase it, then that's probably going to affect it as well. So you want to basically add these upsells into your store in an effective and efficient way. You don't want to just plaster it all over the store. You want to basically add it in. You want to improve your conversion rate using upsells. You don't want to damage it. So this is what I want to keep in mind. You want to test it out and see if it's improving or not. And most of the time it will improve it, but sometimes you just got to analyze it and be harsh and say to yourself, is this related to the product I'm selling? Is it presented in the best possible way? How can we improve it? How does it look? Even if we add just a little thing to present it in a better way, can this improve it? Like things such as adding bold text instead of just normal text. That sort of thing can actually make an impact. So you might be wondering, how can I present my upsell in the best possible way to actually get more conversions? So let's go into a strategy that I like to say and talk about right now. To overcome these challenges of upselling, let's break down some smart upselling strategies. SMART means each strategy is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And here's how you can apply this to upselling on Shopify. So first up, let's talk about S in SMART, which is specific. So here you want to basically add a product that is going to be relevant to the main product. So the example I gave before to do with the camera, you want to basically offer accessories related to that camera that someone's purchasing. And that is a great strategy that you can implement in to actually get a higher average order value, right? Because people purchasing this camera are most likely going to need a case or a charger or anything like that. So they're highly likely to actually add this to their cart or check out with it by just adding a one-click upsell to your store. And we at ReConvert actually offer this right now. So if you are looking on the market for an upselling tool, then I highly recommend ReConvert. You can check out down in the description, and we'll go into more details about ReConvert later on in this video. And obviously, if the customer is seeing great value from which upsell you're offering to them, then they're most likely actually going to purchase the camera, actually more likely to, because they're seeing a great deal here. You're offering them a slight discount because you can actually offer bundles and stuff like that via your store using ReConvert. So again, we'll go into that at the end of the video, but bundles is a great strategy that you can actually implement in to actually make someone purchase it right away. It's time efficient, which is another one we're going to get into at the end. Next up in SMART is measurable. So for measurable, you want to check that you can measure the analytics and the data that's going on, because you want to see why aren't people purchasing, essentially. So you can analyze it using Google Analytics and other analytical tools out there to basically see what's working, what's not, and you can optimize based upon that. Tracking Checking the conversion rates, the purchase rate, click-through rate, all of these rates, you can actually test out what's working and what's not and implement it in for the future as well. For example, you may find out that bundling certain products leads to more sales. So this is what you can test out and analyze the data and see if you can get more sales by doing this. And maybe when it's a time like Christmas or Halloween or Valentine's Day, wherever the event is in the world, you can actually bundle up products in a smart, intelligent way and do this through upsells. Next up in smart is achievable. You want to start small and scale up. So you want to actually set realistic goals that are achievable. That is exactly how you're going to grow in the future, because if it's not achievable and it's not realistic, it's not going to happen. So that's what you want to keep in mind as well. If you're new to upselling, then I recommend to add products that only add up to 20% to the order value, because you want to test out what's working. You don't want to completely add things that aren't necessarily that relevant to the customer and aren't going to actually generate more sales. So you want to be realistic with it. What's actually someone going to purchase by buying this other product? Because if you add a product or add on order value that is basically going to deter the customer away, then they're not going to purchase anything. So that's what you want to keep in mind. You want to keep in mind that you want to actually get them to purchase and not overwhelm them and scare them. So make sure it's achievable. Obviously, once you see success with smaller offers, you can implement this in with larger ones as well. So I'd say start small right now, 20% to the order value, and see from there if it's working, and then slowly optimize over time so it's higher amount. For example, if you sell skincare, you might start by recommending a facial scrub with a moisturizer, then later add a more premium bundle if the small upsell performs well. Next up in smart is relevant. You want to make sure that you're adding relevant products to your upsells, because if it's not relevant, no one's going to purchase it, right? Say if you're buying a dog lead, you're not going to add any cat products to the upsells, for example. That's an extreme case. Obviously, you most likely won't do that, but you just want to make sure that they essentially need to add things into your upsells, the product-wise, that is actually relevant, because if it's not relevant, no one's going to purchase it. So analyze your upsells and test out and see which ones are most relevant for your audience. Maybe even do some customer surveys and figure out what kind of things they're looking for. Maybe you can add them to your upsells. Maybe there's other stuff you can possibly add as well that you haven't thought about. So do your research and figure out and see what competitors are doing as well. For example, if a customer is buying a laptop, I recommend adding laptop bags or software with it. With tools like ReConvert, you can automate personalized product suggestions that are highly relevant, making the upsell feel natural and helpful rather than just another sales push. So last on smart is time bound. So that's the T in smart, time bound. You basically want to add urgency to someone who's actually considering an upsell offer on your store. Obviously, they don't see it as an upsell. They don't see it as you adding a widget to your store and all this sort of kind of thing. But obviously you do. So you basically want to consider how much time they're going to spend on the checkout page, and you want to essentially give them a countdown on your upsell to basically say you've only got this amount of time to purchase the product with this product as well. And if you don't, then we're not going to offer you this anymore. This can dramatically increase conversions if you have this time upsell on your store, and things like Black Friday happening soon and Christmas and all these sorts of things is a great way that you can actually utilize these time-bound offers to create urgency and get people to purchase as soon as possible. Essentially, with upsells, you want someone to see these extra offers as a way for them to purchase as soon as possible and not damage whether they're going to purchase at all. That's what you want to keep in mind. You want to basically balance it out so it fits well and someone is going to purchase quicker by you actually adding these upsells to your store. To wrap up, here is a quick recap of the SMART, smart upselling strategies we covered today. Specific product recommendations, measurable performance tracking, achievable goals, relevant product pairing, and time-bound offers and urgency. So by adding in all these different strategies that we mentioned for upselling, you can increase your conversion rate massively. And you can do this on many different pages, such as the thank you page when someone purchases, obviously the pre-purchase page at the checkout before someone actually purchases anything. You can add these upselling strategies in. We've got a ton of tutorials on our channel about how you can actually implement upsells in specifically with ReConvert as well. So check it out down in the description, as well as checking out our other videos right now. We've made a whole video about how you can actually implement in these upsells. So check it out right here. Eric goes over it at ReConvert. So check it out and we'll see you there.